Hi there, good morning. Thanks so much for tuning into the trade setup. I'm Niyat Shah. And It's an interesting day of trade, the second day of the week, not the penultimate day, but the day before the penultimate day for the expiry in the Indian markets. A lot's happening. By the way, keep in mind, amongst news in the global world, Tesla, Bitcoin, Amazon, all of them remain in focus, and I'll tell you why. First, the US markets and what they have done over the last 5 days, and you will see that there is a bit of a steadiness and an upside bias there. This is the 5 day move, and I think if you can see across the bourses, you will see a bit of a steady uptick out there. So no reason for the world markets to feel jittery about anything else per se. The global mood is not all that bad. The yields in the US markets have come off. Remember, it's a very important week. I've highlighted yesterday that the Fed meet could be important. Yes, the Fed has ammo now to say that they don't need to move too quickly on the tapering, and this is the ammo. The real yields, the US 10-year real yields have tumbled to near record lows, and that tells you a story or two about the inflation expectations, or at least the conversation around that. So that's great. I know there are a few people out there who are saying that inflation will return with a bang, but I know enough and more people on the other side of the camp as well. So, remains to be seen. Um, what about Asia and what about the SGX Nifty today? I think it started off quiet, no big gyration, save for what will happen to Hong Kong and CSI. That's a separate question altogether, but the rest of the other markets are all doing reasonably okay for themselves. The SGX Nifty should next come up on your screen, and then we'll get the MOE function to tell you what happened in trade yesterday. But the SGX Nifty first on your screen, marginally higher, about 21 odd points. So yeah, nothing, no wild gyrations expected on open, which is actually great because a lot of index components or index results would be coming out with the results. So therefore, it will be interesting to see that. Now, first, the MOE function. Remember, we were due to start off about 0.75% in the red yesterday. That is for the SGX Nifty. We started off flattish to marginally negative. How we ended is the more important thing, right? 226 advances to 271 declines. So yes, the market breadth was in favor of the decliners, and a bunch of stocks came off, right? Because of results or otherwise. Naveen Fluorine continued to grind lower. Angel Broking continued to grind lower. India Woods Real Estate and some of the other realty plays came off, simply reacted to results. So a lot of those stocks came off. Versus that, there were some winners as well. The textile companies, the mine companies, some of the specialty chemical companies, all of them did okay. But net, it was even Stevens with slight favor or the edge to the decliners. Can that reverse today? Well, maybe it could. The trade setup for the day today, frankly, to my mind, is that ahead of the big tech numbers coming out, maybe the world market would be a bit quiet. NASDAQ certainly and the US futures would be a bit quiet because I think Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, all of them come out with numbers today. Or Microsoft, Apple, and Google come out with numbers today, not Amazon. Sorry. But these three come out with numbers. So it's a big day for tech earnings in the US. I still think that tactically long trades are possible for the very short term. So even if the macro maybe aside, and I ended the trade setup yesterday saying that maybe you should take some chips off the table. That is with regards to profits that you might be making, keep on booking a little bit here and there, but for trading posts. But I don't think that tactically long trades are out of the equation completely as yet. Metals and sugar likely to continue to see bottom pushing if the stocks correct. Now keep in mind, why I say this is because while we be talking about hard commodities all out and out, look at what's happening in the soft commodity universe. Uh, Coffee prices up under 10%. Sugar futures yesterday up, I think they're up about 4%, and they are now at fresh record highs, or the fresh annual highs, either of the two. But sugar futures have really moved up. So therefore, that's why I say that every corrective move, some of these commodity stocks will probably continue to see buying, especially agri commodities. So keep them at the back of your mind. FI's net sold yesterday. I was a bit surprised really because I was under the impression that Zomato got some key buying in trade yesterday. Remember we were talking about this yesterday that if the Chinese crackdown is any indication, there could be appetite for the Indian tech platform and the tech companies per se. And I think we saw evidence of that. There was some strong flows. Zomato was up about 10, 11%. But what is surprising is the kind of FI selling that came in, 2,376 crores. Of course, Zomato alone cannot really drive FI numbers, but I would presume that a lot of global funds would have bought into Zomato, or global houses, or rather, global investors would have bought into Zomato yesterday by the nature of the buying that happened, and which is why this FI sell number is a bit of a surprise to me. But nevertheless, some of the other stocks, including Reliance, including some of the other banks like HDFC, might have seen some selling. Who knows? But yeah, 2,300 crores sold. What about stocks to watch today? That's the key thing. Like I said, a bunch of nifty numbers that came out, and I'll try and encapsulate some numbers because obviously I can't do all. So I may miss a few, but this is as per my understanding, some of the things that all of us should be aware of. So Tata Motors, the numbers left a bit to be desired, right? Revenues 66,406 crores. The estimates were 61,000. So that was okay. But margins versus estimates of 9%, Bloomberg estimate of 9%. All of these are Bloomberg estimates, by the way, versus Bloomberg estimates of 9%, margins at 7.9%. Net loss at 3,500 crores. The estimated loss was 2,098 crores. So almost on all counts, Tata Motors lost out, say, for the revenue front. The commentary, I would say, was a bit hopeful, yes, and which is why I think the Jefferies note encapsulated well, so I brought that. They maintained a buy with a target price of 435. 435, maintaining a buy. They're saying that they're cutting the FY22 EPS by about 34%, but they broadly maintain the FY23 EPS because they believe that these are seasonal issues for Tata Motors. The India business, they believe, should improve sequentially as demand is picking up, and they're seeing good recovery. They're saying that the company is saying that they've seen good recovery and has the highest ever order book for the company. So all of these augur well for Tata Motors according to Jefferies, and that's why the target price of 425. Let's see what happens there. I would suspect that maybe it could start with soft, but let's wait and watch. Axis Bank, quite unlike ICICI Bank, a few hiccups here and there. So NII missed estimate, net profit missed estimates, GNPAs on a quarter-on-quarter basis rose, as did net NPAs, 1.2% as well. Again, I was of the opinion that maybe they missed a trick or two. Morgan Stanley, though, maintains an overweight with the target price of 1,000. They're saying that the Q1 FY22 miss was driven by higher provisions. Otherwise, it would have been okay. Net interest margins missed, yes, but strong IEA growth and higher fees offset the NIM miss. And they expect strong future earnings from the lower credit costs and better PPOP. Question is, do you buy the story or do you buy the performance? Actually, ICICI Bank had performance. Axis is a bit of a miss, you would have to admit. Let's wait and watch how this one reacts. SBI Life, very interesting set of numbers. So this is the update on the numbers, right? VNB, value of new business, up 45% YOY, dipped 61% quarter on quarter, and expectedly so, right? Because Q1 was marred by lockdowns and therefore collection efficiencies take a hit. New business sales take a hit. FEE up 27%. So analyst premium equivalent did okay. AUM growth 32% YOY. VNB margins down 100 basis points QOQ, but up to 50 basis points YOY. And ULIPs, that's the problem maybe for SBI Life, so to say, or you could argue that it is something that they are taking in. ULIP surged to 37% of product mix. Viewers, I know a lot of you told me that there's strange noises behind. It's Mother Nature. I really can't do much about it. Yeah, so bear with me on that. ULIP surged to 37% of the product mix, and that's not great news per se. But CLSA on SBI Life says that they are maintaining a buy with a target price of 1,385. It is one of their preferred picks. They believe they've increased the VNB margin estimate by 3 to 7%, and they expect long-term VNB margins at 26%. The best in class cost structure and distribution and material, and there are material margin levers for SBI Life according to CLSA, as a result of which their target price is 1,385. Remember, ICICI Prudential Life posts a very good set of numbers, did really well. Don't quite know if this one can follow in the same footsteps. I doubt really, but maybe it could have small positive reaction. DLF, you would argue that compared to estimates, the revenue numbers were weak, and the PAT at 337 crores versus estimates of 270 crores was very good. But what was impressive for DLF, by the way, was the booking trend. And look at these numbers. The last 6 quarters I have presented, for the last 3 quarters consistently, DLF has had bookings which are northwards of 1,000 crores. That's the key thing. Look at these. 1014 even in a COVID-marred quarter of Q1 FY22. Q4, 1058. Q3, 1022. So the booking numbers have consistently gone up. A bunch of their other projects have done really well. And therefore, I would suspect that the street would want to take these numbers positively. Let's wait and watch. I think the street should take this positively. Let's see. KPIT Tech, I'm sure the numbers will be taken positively. I think it's the fourth straight quarter of EBITDA margin expansion. But look at these numbers. Quarter on quarter basis, 567, up about 5%, 567 crores versus 540. EBITDA up 17% of 110 crores versus 93.85 crores. Actually, my EBITDA numbers are a bit higher than what the company is saying their EBITDA is. But somehow I did the math thrice and these numbers come out to be this way. So I'm sticking with these. The PAT up 14% at 60.2 crores versus 52.2 crores. So all in all, on a sequential basis, very robust performance. As I said, fourth consecutive quarter of NIM expansion or the EBITDA margin expansion, the EBIT margin expansion. Pretty solid numbers. So this one could do well. I would suspect it was anyways doing well yesterday before it cooled off in the latter half of trade. I would suspect that will do well in today's session. Jeffrey, Larsen and Toubro numbers came out. Pretty standard. I'm just bringing you what brokers are saying. Most of them have a buy rating. The target prices are here. I really don't have a view on this one, on what this one does. I really doubt it will have a trending move today, but it would well could. And therefore, I'm just bringing you the brokerage updates, 1900, 1785, 1894. So most brokerages stay bullish. What I believe could be the stock of the day today is Equitas Holding, the holding company. So what has been done is Equitas Holding and Equitas Small Finance Bank will be merged, right? So holding company will be merged with SFC. Remember IDFC, remember Ujjivan? So in the same way, Equitas is now doing this. As per a local sales note from a fairly eminent sales trader who I have a high regard for, his math suggests that the Equitas Holding stock would actually have upsides of nearly 33% from the deal structure. So do watch out for Equitas Holding. It's an interesting one to monitor today. I will watch out for Zomato. I think UBS is a buy with a target price of 165. So they're following I think all of this comes from this China's crackdown. I will watch out for Biocon. They've got this exclusive rights for manufacture. Biocon Biologics has gotten this exclusive rights for a COVID-19 drug from a US company for India and some of the Asian region companies. So that could be interesting. And Dixon comes out with numbers from amongst all the companies that got numbers. Dixon could be interesting. So a bunch of these very interesting names to watch out for. I'll wrap with a word on Bitcoin. The 5-day chart will show how Bitcoin, it reached 40,000, actually 40,300 to be precise, dollar price before tumbling. Because the reason why this happened is, and if you look at that chart, that the stock went up. This is a 3-day chart, went up, went above 40,000, and then came off because Amazon said that no, they are not going to be parties, or they're not going to be accepting Bitcoin as token payment. That's what the world was speculating, which is why the stock, which is why Bitcoin went up to 40,000 or above 40,000 before that came off. But here's the deal, right? If you're a trader, if you can speculate well, it went to sub 30,000, giving 33% returns in a matter of a few days. I'm not advocating trading in Bitcoin, by the way. It's a very difficult thing to do. But yeah, it's having interesting moves. Anyways, if you're stepping out, please stay masked up, stay safe, watch out for the soft commodities in particular. They could have a very interesting next few weeks. Thanks so much for tuning in.